What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC on Fox 24 recap video. Happened last night. I hope you saw it. It was another great free event on Fox given to us by the UFC, and I did not do that good. I only got 1 out of 4, but it was one of those things where I was a fan of all the fighters, so I didn't feel that bad about losing my picks. So anyway, let's get into it. First up, I chose Jeremy Stephens to beat Renato Moicano, and he did not. This was a split decision in favor of Renato, and the crowd booed a little bit because he was kind of running and jogging away a little bit. But this was kind of, I felt like Jeremy Stephens could have won this fight if he would have boxed more. Renato was longer than him, so he was able to keep him at distance, and he was able to stay on the outside of the octagon and lateral move around like that. And instead of boxing his way into his range, boxing his way closer to Renato, Jeremy just kind of like, it was a one punch pot shotting. He was leaping in, and I felt like if he would have put together feints, combinations, moved, level changes, you have to work your way in. Even if you're not hitting your opponent, you still have to work. And I felt like he did a little bit more of that in the second round, especially since Renato kind of slowed down a bit, and he won the second round, so it was 1-1 going into the third. But that third, I thought like he could have won, like he could have grabbed it, but he did not. I think he was trying to knock him out, whereas if he just would have worked for it, he could have worked his way to the knockout or just won that round and probably won the split decision because it was a very close fight. So good win for Renato. He's still undefeated. Who would you like to see this kid fight next? Next up, I did not get this pick. I chose Jacare Souza to beat Robert Whittaker, although I said this will not be easy, and biggest win for Robert Whittaker. And I like Robert Whittaker. He surpasses my expectations every time I see him. Even when I pick him, he performs above and beyond what I think he's going to do. So I have to reevaluate and watch more film on Robert Whittaker because he's just simply better than what I think he is. The first round, they were filling out the distance a little bit. You could tell his hand speed was quicker immediately. I was like, Jacare, he did land some shots. He was able to tie him up, try to take him to the ground, but it was actually a beautiful exchange of them counter-acting, and it was kind of a somersault motion, and Robert was able to get back up, so I know that boosted up his confidence there. Jacare did land some shots on the feet, but he didn't put together any combinations. It was kind of like one hit quitters, which you can't do against someone who's an actual striker, a very proficient striker like a Robert Whittaker. Second round comes more of the same, except for Robert was doing everything right. He was first to the punch, like I said, noticeably faster, quicker hand speed. He popped him one good one, dropped him down, started with the ground and pound. Jacare was able to get back up. They continue on. Then he landed a nice head kick, dropped him down to the ground again, ground and pound, TKO. Ref stopped the fight, and it was a good stoppage, except for it was a little late. He should have stopped it a little bit before Jacare turned and looked like he was trying to get up, because before then there was like 6 shots unblocked to the face. So I do actually agree with the stoppage. This is a great win for Jacare. And I said, you got a champ who is, I love Michael Bisping, but any number of those like top 6 guys could probably take that belt from him on any given day. So you got a champ who's probably vulnerable. Call out the champ, and that's what he kind of did, but I wish he would have did it more strongly, but he did not. Who would you like to see Robert Whittaker fight next? Now, co-main event, and I knew this would be tight, I knew this would be close, I knew it could go either way, and I didn't get the pick. I chose Michelle Waterson to beat Rose Namajunas, and she didn't, and honestly, I couldn't have been happier because of the way Rose won. I felt like she finally fought up to her potential. She should have never lost to Carolina. Anyway, so first round comes in. It was actually Michelle who struck the most devastating first blow. She actually landed a kick, and then she went to take her down, which I thought was a mistake. She was landing a lot of leg kicks, and you have to break someone like Rose down. You have to take your time. So I actually thought she was doing better on the feet than she was on the ground. She took her down, had her like in a headlock situation, and it was a matter of time before Rose was able to take her back, and she did. She took her back, and then she ended up getting in her mount. Michelle was trying to hold her, trying to get stood up, was going for submissions and things like that, but really couldn't get back up. I actually think that she let Rose take that round from her. Second round, a little bit more of the same. She was landing a lot of kicks to the leg. Was actually starting to see some red and some bruising around Rose's leg, and then again she kind of went for the takedown, or it was Rose that took her down. Or no, she went for the takedown again, and Rose was able to reverse it and get on her again. She was able to land some ground and pound. Michelle did eventually get back up. Then Rose landed a head kick to the face, knocked her back down again. She immediately pounced on her with some nasty, nasty ground and pound, took her back, rear naked choke, tap, tap. This was her best win, her most proficient win, her most confident win. And this is what she should have done against Carolina, because she was winning that fight. But you know what? Maybe she wasn't ready for JJ yet. Maybe she's ready now. So I said I lost the pick, but honestly, I couldn't have been happier just to see Thug Rose realize her potential, because she is amazing. So who would you like to see Thug Rose fight next? I think she needs to just straight up lobby for JJ, the winner of JJ and Jessica Andrade. Let me not discount Jessica with them hands. So now, main event, and the only pick that I got right, but you know what? I don't care, because and still, the UFC flyweight champion, now tied with Anderson Silva for the most title defenses, my boy, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. He dismantled Wilson Hayes, quite frankly. Ended it in the third round, but let's just talk about this beautiful performance from one of the most beautiful, mesmerizing mixed martial artists in the game. He's number one. So, first round comes in, there's not that much of a filling out period, quite frankly. Demetrious really jumps on you, and I think it's because his speed allows him that he can get in and out so quickly. So he jumped on him. He had a straight jab that was so quick, I'm convinced that Wilson couldn't see it at all, because it landed pretty much every time. The stats after the fight, Wilson landed like 19 shots, Demetrious landed 101. This straight jab was landing every time. We barely saw it. He's so quick. So he's working. There was positions where he had him from the back and still kicked him in the face. He had like his arms wrapped around Wilson's waist from the back, like he's about to take him down or suplex him, and then he would kick him in the face from the back. I was like, Demetrious, that's just not fair. What are you doing? He's amazing. Wilson's the grappler, right? He tried to take him down for a minute. Demetrious popped right back up in the first round. Second round comes more of the same, except for you're starting to see some bleeding. You're starting to see some swelling, some redness, because Demetrious was he was beating him up on the feet. He was beating him up. Body shots, head shots, getting up. When they would clinch up, he would quick knees to the body. He was beating him up on the feet. Eventually, he took him down and then landed some of the nasty. He landed like 5 elbows in like a second and a half, which cut him up and had him bloody. He beat his face bloody by the end of the second round. Third round, more of the same, took him down. And it was like Wilson was like, you know what? I'm ready for this to end. Here, take my arm. Because he beat his way, took him down, beat his way to full guard, beat him up in full guard, got up high, and took that arm, and is the first person to submit Mr. Wilson Hayes. He's the best, pound for pound, number one. 6 of his 10 title defenses are finishes. Stop with him being boring. Stop it with him not finishing people. He is that guy. He is amazing. When I say mesmerizing, I'm not exaggerating. He is mesmerizing. And I can't wait for him to break Anderson Silva's record. Go! All right, let me know how you did on your picks and the injury updates. Let me know how you thought about the upsets that we saw here. Rose's performance, which isn't an upset, but her realizing her potential. And of course, talk to me about history being tied with Mr. Mighty Mouse, Demetrious Johnson. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, like. I'm on Snapchat now. Talk to me. Take care. Goodbye.